the city of Bern or Bärn. French, bɛrn, bɛn. Italian, Berna, ʻbɛrna. Romansh, Berna, ʻbɛrn unregistered trademark. Bundesstadt bar currency rnda 1/4 tsch, bar currency rn, b gamma rn is the Bundesstadt of Switzerland, and, with a population of 137,980, is the fourth most populous city in Switzerland. The Bern agglomeration, which includes 36 municipalities, has a population of 328,616 in 2000. The metropolitan area had a population of 660,000 in 2000. Bern is also the capital of the Canton of Bern, the second most populous of Switzerland's cantons. The official language of Bern is German, but the main spoken language is the Alemannic Swiss German dialect called Bernese German. In 1983 the historic Old Town in the centre of Bern became a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and Bern is ranked among the World Euro unregistered trademark's top 10 cities for the best quality of life. Name. The etymology of the name Bern is uncertain. According to the local legend, based on folk etymology, Berchtold V, Duke of Saar-Currency-Hringen, the founder of the city of Bern, vowed to name the city after the first animal he met on the hunt, and this turned out to be a bear. It has long been considered likely that the city was named after the Italian city of Verona, which at the time was known as Bern in Middle High German. As a result of the find of the Bern zinc tablet in the 1980s, it is now more common to assume that the city was named after a pre-existing toponym of Celtic origin, possibly Berne cleft. The bear was the heraldic animal of the seal and coat of arms of Bern from at least the 1220s. The earliest reference to the keeping of live bears in the bar currency ring graben dates to the 1440s. History. Early history. No archaeological evidence that indicates a settlement on the site of today our Square city centre prior to the 12th century has been found so far. In antiquity, a Celtic oppidum stood on the Enghalbinsel north of Bern, fortified since the 2nd century BC, thought to be one of the 12 oppida of the Helvetia mentioned by Caesar. During the Roman era, there was a Gallo-Roman vicus on the same site. The Bern zinc tablet has the name Brinoda dwelling of Brno. In the early Middle Ages, there was a settlement in Bar 1/4 Mpliz, now a city district of Bern, some 4 km from the medieval city. The medieval city is a foundation of the Saar currency ringer ruling family, which rose to power in Upper Burgundy in the 12th century. According to 14th century historiography, Bern was founded in 1191 by Berchtold V, Duke of Saar-Currency-Hringen. In 1218, after Berchtold died without an heir, Bern was made a free imperial city by the Golden Handfest of Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II. Old Swiss Confederacy. In 1353 Bern joined the Swiss Confederacy, becoming one of the 8 cantons of the formative period of 1353 to 1481. Bern invaded and conquered Aargau in 1415 and Vaud in 1536, as well as other smaller territories, thereby becoming the largest city-state north of the Alps, by the 18th century comprising most of what is today the Canton of Bern and the Canton of Vaud. The city grew out towards the west of the boundaries of the peninsula formed by the river Aar. Initially, the Zytglogg Tower marked the western boundary of the city from 1191 until 1256, when the car currency Victorm took over this role until 1345, which, in turn, was then succeeded by the Christofeldturm until 1622. During the time of the 30 Years' War 2 new fortifications, the so-called Big and Small Schanze, were built to protect the whole area of the peninsula. After a major blaze in 1405, the original wooden buildings were gradually replaced by half-timbered houses and later the sandstone buildings that came to be characteristic for the old town. Despite the waves of pestilence that hit Europe in the 14th century, the city continued to grow mainly due to immigration from the surrounding countryside. Modern history. Bern was occupied by French troops in 1798 during the French Revolutionary Wars, when it was stripped of parts of its territories. It regained the Bernese Oberland in 1802, and following the Congress of Vienna of 1814 newly acquired the Bernese Jura, once again becoming the largest canton of the Confederacy as it stood during the Restoration, and further until the secession of the Canton of Jura in 1979. In 1848 Bern was made the federal city of the new Swiss federal state. A number of congresses of the Socialist First and Second Internationals were held in Bern, particularly during World War I when Switzerland was neutral. See Bern International. The city's population rose from about 5,000 in the 15th century to about 12,000 by 1800 and to above 60,000 by 1900, passing the 100,000 mark during the 1920s. Population peaked during the 1960s at 165,000, and has since decreased slightly, to below 130,000 by 2000. As of December 31, 2009, the resident population was at 130,289, of which 101,627 were Swiss citizens and 28,662 resident foreigners. Another estimated 350,000 people live in the immediate urban agglomeration. Geography. Bern lies on the Swiss plateau in the Canton of Bern, slightly west of the center of Switzerland and 20 km north of the Bernese Alps. The countryside around Bern was formed by glaciers during the most recent ice age. The two mountains closest to Bern are the Gurten with a height of 864 am and the Bärn with a height of 947 am. The site of the old observatory in Bern is the point of origin of the CH 1903 coordinate system at 46°57 euro squared 08.66 euro cubed and 7°26 euro squared 22.50 euro cubed e. The city was originally built on a hilly peninsula surrounded by the river Ahr, but outgrew the natural boundaries by the 19th century. A number of bridges have been built to allow the city to expand beyond the Ahr. Bern is built on very uneven ground. There are several dozen meters in difference of height between the inner city districts on the hill and the higher ones. Bern has an area, as of 2009, of 51.62 square kilometers. Of this area, 9.79 square kilometers or 19.0% is used for agricultural purposes, while 17.33 square kilometers or 33.6% is forested. Of the rest of the land, 23.25 square kilometers or 45.0% is settled, 1.06 square kilometers or 2.1% is either rivers or lakes and 0.16 square kilometers or 0.3% is unproductive land. Of the built-up area, 3.6% consists of industrial buildings, 21.7% housing and other buildings, and 12.6% is devoted to transport infrastructure. Power and water infrastructure as well as other special developed areas made up 1.1% of the city, while another 6.0% consists of parks, green belts and sports fields. 32.8% of the total land area is heavily forested. Of the agricultural land, 14.3% is used for growing crops and 4.0% is designated to be used as pastures. The rivers and streams provide all the water in the municipality. Climate, subdivisions. The municipality is administratively subdivided into 6 districts, each of which consists of several quarters. Demographics. Bern has a population of 127,515. As of 2010, 23.2% of the population are resident foreign nationals. Over the last 10 years the population has changed at a rate of 0.6%. Migration accounted for 1.3%, while births and deaths accounted for a 2.1%. Most of the population speaks German as their first language, Italian is the second most common and French is the third. There are 171 people who speak Romansh. As of 2008, the population was 47.5% male and 52.5% female. The population was made up of 44,032 Swiss men and 15,092 non-Swiss men. There were 51,531 Swiss women and 13,726 non-Swiss women. Of the population in the municipality, 39,008 or about 30.3% were born in Bern and lived there in 2000. There were 27,573 or 21.4% who were born in the same canton, while 25,818 or 20.1% were born somewhere else in Switzerland, and 27,812 or 21.6% were born outside of Switzerland. As of 2000, children and teenagers make up 15.1% of the population, while adults make up 65% and seniors make up 19.9%. As of 2000, there were 59,948 people who were single and never married in the municipality. There were 49,873 married individuals, 9,345 widows or widowers and 9,468 individuals who are divorced. As of 2000, there were 67,115 private households in the municipality, and an average of 1.8 persons per household. There were 34,981 households that consist of only one person and 1,592 households with 5 or more people. In 2000, a total of 65,538 apartments were permanently occupied, while 5,352 apartments were seasonally occupied and 1,444 apartments were empty. As of 2009, the construction rate of new housing units was 1.2 new units per 1,000 residents. As of 2003, the average price to rent an average apartment in Bern was 1,108.92 Swiss francs per month. The average rate for a one-room apartment was 619.82 Swiss francs, a two-room apartment was about 879.36 Swiss francs, a three-room apartment was about 1,040.54 Swiss francs and a six or more room apartment cost an average of 2,094.80 Swiss francs. The average apartment price in Bern was 99.4% of the national average of 1,116 Swiss francs. The vacancy rate for the municipality, in 2010, was 0.45%. Historic population. The historical population is given in the following chart. Politics. Bern is governed by the Gemeinderat, an executive council with 5 members, one of them the elected mayor. The parliament has 80 members and is called Stadtrat. Both the legislative and the executive are elected in general elections for a term of 4 years. The last elections were held in November 2008 with a 43.48% participation. The Executive Council has a left-green majority with 2 representatives, including the Mayor Alexandersche Currency PPA Currency T, of the Social Democratic Party of Switzerland and 1 representative of the leftist Green Party Gra 1/4 Nesbar 1/4 NDNIS. It also has a majority of 3 women against 2 men. The seat of the Gemeinderat is the Electorhof. The 80 members of the Legislative Council belong to 18 different political parties, the strongest being the Social Democratic Party with 20 representatives, followed by the Conservative Free Democratic Party of Switzerland with 10 and the moderate Green Party Gra 1/4 Freien List with 9 seats. Both the far-right Swiss People's Party and the leftist Green Party Gra 1/4 Nesbar 1/4 NDNIS have 8 seats each. The Stadtrat meets on Thursday evenings at the Rathaus. The representatives of the Social Democratic Party and of the Green parties, collectively referred to as Red-Green Centre, hold a majority in both councils and mostly determine city policy, although no formal coalition agreement exists and, under the system of direct democracy that prevails in Switzerland, most important issues are settled by general vote. In the 2007 federal election, the most popular party was the SPS, which received 29.12% of the vote. The next 3 most popular parties were the Green Party, the SVP and the FDP. In the federal election, a total of 43,783 votes were cast, and the voter turnout was 51.5%. Main sites. The structure of Bern's city centre is largely medieval and has been recognized by UNESCO as a Cultural World Heritage Site. Perhaps its most famous site is the Zeitglocke, an elaborate medieval clock tower with moving puppets. It also has an impressive 15th-century Gothic cathedral, the Mar 1/4 NSTER, and a 15th-century town hall. Thanks to 6 kilometers of arcades, the Old Town boasts one of the longest covered shopping promenades in Europe. Since the 16th century, the city has had a bear pit, the Bar currency Ringgraben, at the far end of the Nedegbra 1/4 CKE to house its heraldic animals. The currently 4 bears are now kept in an open-air enclosure nearby, and 2 other young bears, a present by the Russian president, are kept in Dar currency HLHA paragraph LZLI Zoo. The Federal Palace, built from 1857 to 1902, which houses the national parliament, government and part of the federal administration, can also be visited. Albert Einstein lived in a flat at the Krumgasse 49, the site of the Einstein horse, from 1903 to 1905, the year in which the Annus Mirabilis papers were published. The Rose Garden, from which a scenic panoramic view of the medieval town centre can be enjoyed, is a well-kept rosarium on a hill, converted into a park from a former cemetery in 1913. There are 11 Renaissance allegorical statues on public fountains in the Old Town. Nearly all the 16th-century fountains, except the Czar currency ringer fountain which was created by Hans Hildebrand, are the work of the Freiburg master Hans Gieng. One of the more interesting fountains is the kindly Brunnen, which is claimed to represent a Jew, the Greek god Kronos, or a Fastnacht figure that scares disobedient children. Bern's most recent site is the set of fountains in front of the Federal Palace. It was inaugurated on August 1, 2004. The Universal Postal Union is situated in Bern. Heritage Sites of National Significance. Bern is home to 114 Swiss heritage sites of national significance. It includes the entire Old Town, which is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and many sites within and around it. Some of the most notable in the Old Town include the cathedral, which was started in 1421 and is the tallest cathedral in Switzerland, the Zeitglocke and Car currency Fickturm Towers, which mark 2 successive expansions of the Old Town, and the Holy Ghost Church, which is one of the largest Swiss Reformed churches in Switzerland. Within the Old Town, there are 11 16th-century fountains, most attributed to Hans Gieng, that are on the list. Outside the Old Town, the heritage sites include the Bar currency Ringgraben, the Gubbeshule Bern, the Eigener Paragraph Sisches Archiv 1 Quartier Malpfliege, the Kirchenfeld Mansion District, the Thanplatzbrunnen, the Federal Mint Building, the Federal Archives, the Swiss National Library, the Historical Museum, Alpine Museum, Museum of Communication and Natural History Museum. Culture. Theatres, Bern Theatre, Narenpack Theatre Bern, Schlachthorst Theatre, Tojo Theatre, the Theatre on the Effinger Street, Theatre am Car currency Fickturm, cinemas. Bern has several dozen cinemas. As is customary in Switzerland, films are generally shown in their original language with German and French subtitles. Only a small number of screenings are dubbed in German. Film festivals, SHNIT International Short Film Festival, SHNIT International Short Film Festival, held annually in early October. QESGTA, a Euro Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, held annually in the second week of November. Festivals, B Jazz Summer and Winter Festival, Buskers Festival, Goethen Festival, Internationals Jazzfestival Bern, SHNIT International Short Film Festival, Taklos Festival, Fez, Zibalima Currency Rita Euro. The Zibalima Currency Rit is an annual fair held on the fourth Monday in November. Bernese Fastnacht, Sport. Bern was the site of the 1954 Football World Cup final, a huge upset for the Hungarian Golden Team, who were beaten 3-2 by West Germany. The football team BSC Young Boys is based in Bern at the Stade de Suisse Wankdorf, which also was one of the venues for the European Football Championship 2008. The Stade de Suisse hosted 3 matches during the 2008 UEFA Euro Cup tournament. SC Bern is the major ice hockey team of Bern who plays at the Post Finance Arena. The Post Finance Arena was the main host of the 2009 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship, including the opening game and the final of the tournament. The Post Finance Arena was also the host of the 2011 European Figure Skate Championships. Bern Cardinals is the baseball and softball team of Bern, which plays at the Allmend. Bern Grizzlies is the American football club in Bern and plays at Athletics Arena Wankdorf. Bern was a candidate to host the 2010 Winter Olympics, but withdrew its bid in September 2002 after a referendum was passed that showed that the bid was not supported by locals. Those games were eventually awarded to Vancouver, Canada. RC Bern is the local rugby club and plays at the Ulm end. The ladies' team was founded in 1995. Economy: as of 2010, Bern had an unemployment rate of 3.3%. As of 2008, there were 259 people employed in the primary economic sector and about 59 businesses involved in this sector. 16,413 people were employed in the secondary sector and there were 950 businesses in this sector. 135,973 people were employed in the tertiary sector, with 7,654 businesses in this sector. In 2008 the total number of full-time equivalent jobs was 125,037. The number of jobs in the primary sector was 203, of which 184 were in agriculture and 19 were in forestry or lumber production. The number of jobs in the secondary sector was 15,476, of which 7,650 all were in manufacturing, 51 all were in mining and 6,389 were in construction. The number of jobs in the tertiary sector was 109,358. In the tertiary sector, 11,396 or 10.4% were in wholesale or retail sales or the repair of motor vehicles, 10,293 or 9.4% were in the movement and storage of goods, 5,090 or 4.7% were in a hotel or restaurant, 7,302 or 6.7% were in the information industry, 8,437 or 7.7% were the insurance or financial industry, 10,660 or 9.7% were technical professionals or scientists, 5,338 or 4.9% were in education and 17,903 or 16.4% were in healthcare. In 2000, there were 94,367 workers who commuted into the municipality and 16,424 workers who commuted away. The municipality is a net importer of workers, with about 5.7 workers entering the municipality for every one leaving. Of the working population, 50.6% used public transport to get to work, and 20.6% used a private car. Religion: from the 2000 census, 60,455 or 47.0% belong to the Swiss Reformed Church, while 31,510 or 24.5% were Roman Catholic. Of the rest of the population, there were 1,874 members of an Orthodox Church, there were 229 persons who belonged to the Christian Catholic Church, and there were 5,531 persons who belonged to another Christian church. There were 324 persons who were Jewish, and 4,907 who were Muslim. There were 629 persons who were Buddhist, 1,430 persons who were Hindu and 177 persons who belonged to another church. 16,363 belonged to no church, are agnostic or atheist, and 7,855 persons did not answer the question. Education. The University of Bern, whose buildings are mainly located in the La Quarantaine Quarter, is located in Bern, as well as the University of Applied Sciences and several vocations schools. In Bern, about 50,418 or of the population have completed non-mandatory upper secondary education, and 24,311 or have completed additional higher education. Of the 24,311 who completed tertiary schooling, 51.6% were Swiss men, 33.0% were Swiss women, 8.9% were non-Swiss men and 6.5% were non-Swiss women. The Canton of Bern school system provides 1 year of non-obligatory kindergarten, followed by 6 years of primary school. This is followed by 3 years of obligatory lower secondary school where the pupils are separated according to ability and aptitude. Following the lower secondary, pupils may attend additional schooling or they may enter an apprenticeship. During the 2009-10 school year, there were a total of 10,979 pupils attending classes in Bern. There were 89 kindergarten classes with a total of 1,641 pupils in the municipality. Of the kindergarten pupils, 32.4% were permanent or temporary residents of Switzerland, and 40.2% have a different mother language than the classroom language. The municipality had 266 primary classes and 5,040 pupils. Of the primary pupils, 30.1% were permanent or temporary residents of Switzerland, and 35.7% have a different mother language than the classroom language. During the same year, there were 151 lower secondary classes with a total of 2,581 pupils. There were 28.7% who were permanent or temporary residents of Switzerland, and 32.7% have a different mother language than the classroom language. Bern is home to 8 libraries. These libraries include the Schweiz Nationalbibliothek/Bibliothek Nationale Suisse, the Universitätsbibliothek Bern, the Kornhorstbibliothek in Bern, the BFH Wirtschaft und Verwaltung Bern, the BFH Gesundheit, the BFH Sozialarbeit, the Hochschule der K1-Quartier Bern, Gestaltung und Kunst, and the Hochschule der K1-Quartier Bern, Musikbibliothek. There was a combined total of 10,308,336 books or other media in the libraries, and in the same year a total of 2,627,973 items were loaned out. As of 2000, there were 9,045 pupils in Bern who came from another municipality, while 1,185 residents attended schools outside the municipality. Transport. Public transport works well in Bern, with the Bern S-Bahn, Bern tramway network, Bern trolleybus system and a bus network forming an integrated all-four-style scheme connecting the different parts of the city. A funicular railway leads from the Massili district to the Bundesstadt. The Mozilla-Bahn funicular is, with a length of 106 am, the second shortest public railway in Europe after the Zagreb funicular. Several bridges connect the old parts of the city with the newer districts outside of the peninsula. Bern is well connected to other cities by several motorways. Bern railway station connects the city to the national and international railways network. Bern is also served by Bern Airport, located outside the city near the town of Belp. The regional airport, colloquially called Bern Belp or Biltmoos, is connected to several European cities. Additionally, Saar-1/4 Airport, Geneva Airport and Euro Airport Basel-Mulhouse-Freiburg also serve as international gateways, all reachable within 2 hours by car or train from Bern. Notable people. Mikhail Bakhtin died in Bern on July 1, 1876. Vladimir Lenin resided in Bern from 1914 until 1917. Albert Einstein worked out his theory of relativity while living in Bern, employed as a clerk at the patent office. Albrecht von Haller, Louise Elizabeth de Meuron, a famed eccentric and noble lady, Paul Emmett, painter, Ferdinand Hodler, painter, Michael Korter, fencer, Mark Street, ice hockey player, Christoph von Grafenried, founder of New Bern in the U.S. state of North Carolina, Peter Bärn, philosophy professor and novelist, Adolf Wapp paragraph LFLI, visual artist, Roman Jussi, ice hockey player. Marnie Matter, songwriter, La Copyright on Savary, Swiss writer and journalist, Hans Oehler, Christian minister, Oima copyright Far copyright Lixtstoffeli, famous Longritter, Algirdas Palekis, diplomat and politician, was born in Bern. Emil Theodor Kocher, recipient of 1909 Nobel Prize. Twin cities, Austria, Salzburg, notes and references. External links, City of Bern, Bern in German, French and Italian in the online Historical Dictionary of Switzerland. GIS City of Bern at the Wayback Machine, Bern Public Transportation Website, Bern Travel Guide from Wiki Voyage, City Hunter Bern, Goethen Festival.